settlements. Cash machines, which are controlled by a Swedish bank consortium, are being dismantled by the hundreds, especially in rural areas. Ericsson, who now heads the Association of Swedish Private Security Companies, a lobbying group for firms providing security for cash transfers, accuses banks and credit card companies of trying to price cash out of the market to make way for cards and electronic payments, which generate fee income. "I don't think that's something they should decide on their own," he said. "Should they really be able to use their market force to turn Sweden into a cashless society? The government has not sought to stem the cashless tide. If anything, it has benefited from a more efficient tax collection because electronic transactions leave a trail. In countries like Greece and Italy, where cash is still heavily used, tax evasion remains a big problem." Leif Trogen, an official at the Swedish Bankers Association, acknowledged that banks were earning substantial fee income from the cashless revolution. But because it costs money for banks and businesses to conduct commerce in cash, reducing its use makes financial sense, Trogen said. Cash is certainly not dead. The Swedish central bank, the Riksbank, predicts it will decline fast but still be circulating in 20 years. Recently, the Riksbank issued newly redesigned coins and notes. But for an increasing number of consumers, cash is no longer a habit. At the University of Gothenburg, students said they almost exclusively used cards and electronic payments. "No one uses cash," said Hannah Eck, 23. "I think our generation can live without it." The downside, she conceded, was that it was easy to spend without thinking. "I do spend more," Eck said, "but if I had a 500 krona bill, I'd think twice about spending it at all. 500 krona is about $58. The shift has rippled through even the most unlikely corners of the Swedish economy. Stefan Weichberg, 65, was homeless for 4 years after losing his job as an IT technician. He has a place to live now and sells magazines for Situation Stockholm, a charitable organization, and began using a mobile card reader to take payments after noticing that almost no one carried cash. "Now, people can't get away," said Weichberg, who carries a sign saying he accepts Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. "When they say I don't have change, I tell them they can pay with card or even by SMS," he said, referring to text messages. His sales have grown by 30% since he adopted the card reader 2 years ago. At the Philadelphia Stockholm Church, so few of the 1,000 parishioners now carry cash that the church had to adapt, said Soren Eskilsson, the executive pastor. During a recent Sunday service, the church's bank account number was projected onto a large screen. Worshippers pulled out cell phones and tithed through an app called Swish, a payment system set up by Sweden's biggest banks that is fast becoming a rival to cards. Other congregants lined up at a special Kollektomat card machine where they could transfer funds to various church operations. Last year, out of 20 million krona in tithes collected, more than 85% came in by card or digital payment. "People give more money to the church now because it's electronic and easy," said Eskilsson, adding that the church saved on security costs by handling less cash. Despite the convenience, even some who stand to gain from a cashless society see drawbacks. Sweden has always been at the forefront of technology, so it's easy to embrace this, said Jacob de Geer, a founder of iZettle, which makes a mobile-powered card reader. "But Big Brother can watch exactly what you're doing if you purchase things only electronically," he said. But for Ulvaeus, the music magnate, such concerns are overblown. "Everything speaks in favor of a cashless society," he said as he strolled past the ABBA Museum to retrieve his car. "It's a utopian thought, but we're very close to it." He paused at a hot dog stand for a snack, but when he was ready to pay, the card reader was broken. "Sorry," the vendor said. "You'll have to use